Okay, you guys, I'm back, but only for a few minutes. Yes, you guys are reading the title correctly. You guys should stop relying on men for your survival. I believe that all women need their own income. You need your own monumental income for your survival. Um, You guys have to understand that there are men out here who literally do not want you to be successful. They do not want you to get ahead of them. They do not want you to be happy. They legitimately do not want you to be positive. They don't want you to have prosperity. They don't want you to have abundance. There are men out here who are insecure of you and jealous of you, ladies. And I will say it again until I turn blue. I don't see the benefit of a woman being married to a man who can't provide. I don't understand women who are in relationships with men. Like you're in relationships with these men, you're in the home with these men, you're having sex with these men, and they can't take care of you. I don't understand that. I don't understand women who are in relationships with men and these men can't put you in a home. I don't understand women who are in relationships with men and you've had children with these men and they're not helping you with the children. I don't understand women who put up with so much just to get your bills paid, just to have a roof over your head and food to eat. You're putting up with this man cheating on you, lying to you, deceiving you, manipulating you, abusing you, and you're willing to put up with all of that just to have a man, just to have your basic needs met, which is food, clothing, shelter, and a home. I don't understand it. I legitimately enjoy laying in my home in peace, not knowing that I have to roll over to have sex with a man to get my bills paid, that I have to lay on my back to have sex with a man to get my bills paid. That at any time this man can look at me in the face and tells me, I don't want you anymore. Now I'm stuck because I relied on this man to pay my bills for me and my children. And at any time, this man can decide to leave. I don't understand women who don't have their own income. I don't understand women who don't have college degrees. I don't understand women who don't have multiple streams of income. I legitimately don't understand women who are out here without anything to fall on. I don't understand. And these men, they get online every day and they say they don't like college educated women. They sit online every day and say they don't like women who are boss babes and women who are independent and women who are this and women who are that. I've had men tell me, you don't need me. You don't need me. What do you need me for? Newsflash, men, we're not in the 1950s where women have to sit back and we have to twiddle our fingers and thumbs until you decide when you're going to be a provider. I don't sit around and I don't wait on men to do anything. Whatever Akina wants, Akina gets up and she makes it happen. Okay. I don't rely on men for my home, for food, for clothing, for anything. I legitimately make it happen. Not only do I make it happen, I manifest for it to happen. Whatever I want, I manifest it. Because if I sat around and I waited on you men to be providers, me and my children would be hungry, we would be out in the streets, and a whole bunch of other things. I don't sit around and I don't wait on men for anything. I create the table for me and my children to sit at. I created the kingdom for me and my family. I don't expect men to do anything. Nothing. Because anytime, ladies, these men can switch up. They can tell you they're going to do this and do that for you. And then the next thing you know, they switch up. Empty promises mean nothing to me, men. You can sit down and tell me all day what you're going to do. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to be there for you and I'm going to do this for you. Until you make it happen, what you're talking about, men, doesn't make it doesn't mean anything to me. You want to know how many times men have promised me things and in the past I believe those things? I don't believe anything that comes out of you men's mouths. Because if your mouths, and I told my daughter this. I told my daughter this literally today. If men's mouths are not moving, then they're not lying. It's literally in the Bible, ladies, that men lie. Yes, and I haven't had the chance to find it and put it in my community wall, but I will put it in there. Men lie so much. Yeah. And that there is a scripture that says that many people would be deceived. Yeah. When you break down the word manipulation, what word do you get? Man, lie, manipulation. Lie is literally in it. The word man is literally in manipulation. Men call it. Many of you in menopause, menstruation, hysterectomy, him. You men are a burden to women. You are a burden and you are a liability to women and children and men. And in my walking life, no man has legitimately ever benefited my life better than what I'm doing. I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my soul, you guys. No man in my 37 years of on this planet has ever benefited me better than what I'm doing. I was almost subjugated to text my ex-husband to let him know that he is a liability and a burden to me. Yeah. But I had to catch myself from telling him that because it's already tenseful between us as it is, you know. And he's become unhinged and I've become an unhinged girl type of person right now. But they lie. Everything that comes out of men's mouth, it's just nothing but lies. It's nothing but deception. It's nothing but illusions. It's nothing but gaslighting. It's nothing but broken promises. You men just lie. Everything that comes out of you men's mouth is nothing but a lie. And women are so naive and foolish to believe any and everything that comes out of you men's mouth. Because if your mouths are not moving, men, then you're not lying. And see, I don't watch what comes out of your mouth. I watch what you do. And when you lie to me, I'm going to hold you accountable for those lies. Don't be making me no broken promises that you can't keep. You can sit down and tell me all day what you're going to do for me and this, and that. That means nothing to me without action. So, ladies, stop listening to what these men tell you and watch what they're doing. Because their father is literally Satan. What did you say? Men are the children of Satan. Many of these men walking around here are the seeds of Satan. Many of you are laying in bed with the enemy. Many of your so-called husbands are demons. Many of you are having sex with succubus and incubus. Many of you are having children with demons. Y'all are not ready for that conversation. And yet y'all keep getting out here dealing with these men. Most of these men that you're dealing with are not godly men. They're worldly men, and worldly men are Satan's children. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to be real with you. Many of these men can shapeshift into other entities and beings. I'll take it a step further. Many of the men that you're dealing with are not even men. They're not human. You're not ready for that conversation. Because see, me getting into this kind of conversation would mean then I would have to get into other layers that many of you are not prepared for. And yet y'all keep dealing with these men. Men don't like nice women. They don't like godly women. They don't like women who are sweet. No, they like women who boss them around, and they like women who are mean, and they like women who are just as chaotic as them. And this is why a lot of these pick-me's, they get online and they complain about these men all day, and yet they get right back in bed with them. They sleep with them. These men can be abusing them, cheating on them, lying to them, giving them STDs. They'll still go back to these very men that they complain about. Men will smile in your face and then turn around and stab you in your back. Men will love bomb you. Because they're great little manipulators. I put nothing past you, men. Because you think that this is a challenge when a woman sets a boundary or she tells you no, you just can't help yourself, right? Oh, she was begging for it. She was asking for it. She looked at me like she wanted it. Yeah, that's what they'll say. And yet you women will continuously keep dealing with these unhinged, chaotic, toxic males who are running around here creating broken families and abusing women and so on. And you'll get online and many of you will say, not all men. Not all men. And the ones who come and they defend themselves, well, I'm not like the men you've been dealing with. I'm a different person. I'm a different no, you're the same non-playable character, just like every other man before you. What makes you so different? Because what I've come to the conclusion is here, men, many of you are running the same script. You're running the same game, you're running the same script, and you're playing in women's faces. What you're not going to do is you're not going to be playing in my face. All of this switcheroo and back and forth and hot and cold and inconsistent and lies and manipulation and little mind games you men play, little Hottie and Jekyll mind games. Been there, done that. I'm wearing the fucking t-shirt about it. You're not going to come in my face and play these little games. You can go play in your mama's face. You can go play in your grandmother's face. You can go play in your sister's face. You can go play in all these other women's faces that you've been playing around with. You're not going to play in my face. Because there are some of us out here who can see straight through you men. So my thing is when you approach Akina, you better come right or don't come at all. You better have your shit together before you step in this lane. Because any little funny business, any of that little red flag, I'm gonna check you at the door. I'm gonna check you at the door about your little business. And if the shit is stinking, you got to go. I don't care how you look, I don't care what you're talking about, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care about none of that. You are not gonna come in my lane with all of that little mess you got going on. And I legitimately blame these pick-me's. Because if they would keep their legs closed, half of these problems would go away. And I'm not here to tell you women what to do with your bodies, but a lot of what's going on with these men and this entitlement with them is because they've been given too much access. Y'all are opening your legs to these men. You're feeding them, you're cooking for them, you're catering to their egos, you're laying them up in your homes, you're serving them like kings. They can't pay a damn bill, they're not doing anything for you. What's the point of having them in there? The only man that I want to see in my home is the maintenance man coming to fix what needs to be fixed. That's it. That's really all I need him in here for. That's it. That's it. That's really all I need. Yep, that's it. I mean, landscape, they come and they cut the yard and they do the landscape here. You know, the property has hired people to come and do that. I don't have to do that in this apartment. They come, they check the lighting, they come check the AC units, plumbing, all of that. You know, that's all a part of what I pay rent for. You know, that's it. All this extra stuff with you men. You guys got to figure out a way how you can fit into women's lives and how can you make their lives better. Because, like I said, no woman out here who's in bed with a man, I don't care if this is your boyfriend, your husband, your baby daddy. If you're in the home with a man and he can't pay your bills, you need to get rid of him. And you need to get rid of him quick. And tell him that I said for you to get rid of him. Because no man should be laying in the home with a woman. Betty, I'll take it a step further. No man should be in a home where a woman has paid for. If you are a man and you can provide a home for the woman that you are involved with, you are sad. You are a sad piece of shit. If you are a man and you can't pay this woman's bills where you lay your head in, you're sad. And you are a piece of shit. If this woman has to work a 9-to-5 job to keep a roof over her and her children's head, and you're laying up in there and you're not helping with the bills, if she has to do chores and you're not helping her with the chores in that home, you need to go back to your mama house. Because it's probably where she picked you up from. Ladies, we have to stop. We have to stop coddling these boys. My son, he cleans up behind himself. He picks up a broom, he picks up the mop. I made him get pee off the toilet. That's right. He puts his dishes in the zinc. He helps with the trash. We have to stop coddling these boys because y'all are inepting your sons, ladies, by not teaching them basic skills that we instill on our daughters. So when these boys become men, they're running around here thinking that they don't have to cook and clean and do laundry and do this and do that. No, sir. My son helps me with the laundry. He puts the clothes in the machine. He puts them in the dryer here. I make him do chores. No man should be laying in the home with a woman and not helping her. You as a man, you should know how to cook. You should know how to do dishes. You should know how to do your laundry. You should know how to fold clothes. You should learn how to pick up a mop, a broom, a cleaning rag. These are basic skills that you men should know how to do prior to getting into a relationship with a woman. And I'm here to let it be known, if I were out here dating any of you men, you don't know how to cook and clean and do anything, you're just wasting your time in my face. I know how to cook. And you as a man, you should know how to cook. You should know how to clean. You should know how to put clothes in the washing machine and the dryer. You should know how to fold clothing and towels. You should know how to fold your clothing. You should know how to put things on hangers and closets. You should know how to clean tables and countertops and mop and sweep. And if you don't have those basic skills as a man, the last thing you should be thinking about is a relationship with a woman. Ladies, this needs to be a requirement that any man you get out here and deal with, he needs to have the basic skills down pat. We need to stop normalizing walking around here calling these men kings who don't even know how to do basic things and how to take care of themselves. What was this man doing before you met him? He had to eat. He had to do his laundry, et cetera, et cetera. If a man doesn't know how to make up a bed, that's a red flag to me. Y'all are walking around here crying over men who don't have degrees, high school diplomas, and don't have the basic skills on how to survive. Y'all are out here crying over men who are not taking care of themselves, going to the doctor, taking care of their health and stuff, going to the eye doctor, the dentist, etc. Y'all are out here crying over men who don't even own homes, who don't even own businesses. Y'all are laying in bed with low tier, mediocre types of men who don't even have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. They can't show you the deed to their home. They can't show you the ownership papers to their cars. They can't show you the degrees that they have and how they better themselves. They don't have a trade. They don't have anything. I don't deal with men who don't have anything going on for themselves. And what you men are asking women to do, you're asking women to settle for you because you are a man and you think you're entitled to certain types of women. You're not entitled to anything. Women who have done the work and have evolved their lives deserve men who have also done the same. You don't have anything going on in your lives, no woman is obligated to pick you. We have to stop normalizing settling for these men because they want to be picked. Because legitimately, they're the pick-me's. They're the pick-me's. They're the ones who are desperate for women. And they need you to be desperate for them. And that's why they say they don't want women who have degrees and have this and have that, because women who can maintain themselves and are independent and can pay their own bills, they're not as easy to be controlled or manipulated by men. So when a man says that you're too much for me, or there's nothing that I can do for you, or what do you need me for? You can handle everything by yourself. These men don't know what to do with those types of women. Why don't you men who don't know what to do with those types of women let the real men step in and handle that job for you? Why don't you get out of the way, sir? Because there's always a better man beyond you. But see, you men have convinced yourselves that you're the prize. You're not the prize. You heard me correctly. There's always a better man beyond you. You're easily replaced men. So what you're slacking and lacking in, there's always a better man who can come in and do it better. You're not competing with women. You're competing with other men for quality types of women. And if you don't have your A game on point, then guess what? No woman is going to take you serious. She's just gonna look at you like another weak man that she's dealing with. Y'all are out here trying to run game on women, but in actuality, women have already outbeated many of you men. Hence why women are just opting out of dealing with most of you men. Because if women legitimately lowered their standards for most of you men, most of you would still not be good enough for those types of women. But we understand that many of you need to be picked because you were told that you are owed a woman. And the government promised you that. And you're still running with this narrative that you are owed access to certain types of women. You're not owed anything, men. And I'm sorry the government made this promise to you, but in actuality, you're not owed anything. Ladies, and I'll say it again, the most two dangerous types of men out here you need to avoid is the insecure man and the man who is has a scarcity mindset. Because a man who isn't making a whole lot of money will be jealous of you making a whole lot of money. A man who's insecure of you and your success would be the one who would unalive you because you're too successful. This is why you ladies hear about all these women getting unalived by these men who are not even on their level. Husband unalives wife who is a entrepreneur, business owner, et cetera, et cetera. You guys have to stop settling for these types of men. It is not your job to build men up. It is not your job to rescue these men. They have a whole entire system out here that can help them to get to where they need to be. What it is, they're intimidated by women who have figured out a way to survive in this system that has told them that they would never make it out here without a man. So when women who are successful and wealthy end up being alone and single, that is a survival defense mechanism. See, women like me can't afford to get out here and date these men. It's too dangerous, sis. Way too dangerous to run that game, baby. Women like me just end up alone and single. We have to stay alone and single because we know that the majority of the men that we approach would never ever be on our levels of what we would look for in a mate. I've accepted that a long time ago. That the type of man that I would need and want would have to be on an extremely high vibrational level. And many of you men will never reach that level. Number one, you don't have the bandwidth. Number two, you're not evolved enough to be there. And number three, you don't have the emotional capacity or intelligence to even be where most women are at who have done this level of work. And I'm talking about inner work, inner healing, evolving, growing. Many of you men are not doing that. Ladies, if you didn't know this, every year men's height shortens. Another thing you ladies need to be aware of is these men right now are going through a karmic cycle. Yeah, because they have to pay for the deeds of how they treated women here. So that's why they're wailing out and spiraling out and projecting everywhere because they don't know what to do with the karmic debt that's in front of it. This is what I would call karmic retribution. You men have to pay for how you've been out here treating women. So there is no male loneliness epidemic. It's called a karmic retribution, where you men have to pay the piper. The only men who are not out here complaining are the men who have wives and are in healthy relationships with women. So if you yourself can't get in a good relationship with a woman, you are a karmic. And until you pay that karmic debt off, God isn't going to bless you with a woman. Many of you have been out here fumbling God's daughters. That's why you don't have a wife. I told you, ladies, that a lot of these men who you think are your soulmates are actually your karmic mates. And there's always a counterfeit of everything God has. Always. So how do you know the difference between if the man that you're with is a karmic or a God sent man? If you're dealing with a man and all he's bringing you is nothing but confusion, strife, stress, heartache, depression, anxiety, a lot of uncertainty, confusion, no clear direction, you're most likely dealing with a karmic. When God blesses you with a man, honey, it's not going to be any of that Confucius energy with that man. That energy is going to be free flowing, free sailing. You're not going to have to worry about anything. Everything's going to fall into place. Everything's going to be aligned the way that it needs to be. This man is not going to cause you any imbalance. No imbalance in the mind, no imbalance in the body. When God has something for you, it's everything's gonna set itself in place. You know, and anytime you're dealing with one of Satan's offsprings, some of these men you've been dealing with who you think are your Mr. Right, it's your Mr. Wrong who Satan sent to you. And these men will test you. They will find your weak spot and they will test you to see if you would give in to that temptation. And since we've been here at the apartment, I've been tested. Because these men can sense who these godly women are, and women who are on business and women who are not out here in the streets. These men can tell because we give off a certain aura and an aroma when we enter into a room. I have been told it smells like honeysuckle. Okay, my work phone had died, you guys. As I was live, it just died on me. But I'm back on my regular phone. I typically don't go live on my work phone because I try to keep that charged up. But you know, anytime you're dealing with a man who um is bringing you a lot of confusion and is disrupting your peace and isn't bringing you peace, you're most likely dealing with a karmic mate. And you will think that this is your soulmate, but in actuality, it is your karmic mate. They're there to teach you a lesson, and it is your job to move on from the lesson and heal and grow. These types of mates are not meant to be around for the long haul. And God will purposely restrict this man from coming into your life because he can tell that this is one of these karmics. I don't know why I'm inclined to say any of this, but I'm just here to put this message out there that a lot of these men that you're dealing with are not godly men. They're not men that you should be dealing with. Um, like I said, many of you are laying in bed with the enemy. You're dealing with men who do not care about your well-being or anything that you're trying to do. Anytime a man can sit back and watch you suffer and struggle and he's there, honey, this isn't a man who has you in his best interest. This is someone who purposely wants to see you fall and see you destroyed. Anything that God blesses you with, ladies, it's not going to come with confusion. This man's going to come in, he's going to love you right, he's going to help you, he's going to treat you right, he's going to do everything he's supposed to do like a man. We're not dealing with men out here, ladies, who are on evolvement and healing and growth. We're dealing with a generation of broken men who I believe are not only incels, but they're inept and they lack the basic skills to be out here in relationships with women. And I would rather lay up in my home and pay bills entirely than to deal with most of these men out here. I was given a choice before moving to my home. Would I rather continue to deal with the old environment and old things that no longer serve me or move forward into a path of sovereignty? And I had a decision to make. And I told the universe that I rather choose my job and my peace over dealing with anything that does not serve me in my highest good. Write that down. I am deserving of everything that will benefit me in my higher good. Write that down. That is an affirmation that you're telling the universe that you're not dealing with anything that's not going to be beneficial for you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, etc. Anything that does not serve you in your higher good, let it go. Because there are people and environments and things that will literally cock block you from blessings and doors opening because you choose to keep dealing with things that are not supposed to be there. And many of you are dealing with men who you should have been walked away from. You should have been walked away from this man. You knew he was no good from the day you started dealing with him, but you're still dealing with him. You knew the man didn't have you in his best interest. He didn't care about it, but you're still dealing with him though. You got that man in your home and he's not helping you with the bills or helping you with the chores. What is he there for? Get rid of him. Because if you don't get rid of him, the universe is going to get rid of him, or you may be getting rid of. Either the universe is going to get rid of him, or the universe is going to get rid of you for choosing to deal with this man. And this is why all of these women out here, and I hate to say this, are being unalive, because see, these women were warned spiritually to let these men go, and they still chose to deal with them. And the universe can only warn you so many times before it just erases you out of here. And this is why a lot of these pick-me's and their children are being taken up out of here. And I hate to say that that's what it is, but that's what it is. I don't want to see anyone lose their lives at the hands of a man. But a lot of y'all know that these men are no good. You know that this man burned you the first time with an STD, but you're still out here sleeping with him, though. You're still sleeping with him, though. It's just mind-boggling. And another thing that's mind-boggling is there is a scripture in Proverbs 31 that says, the Proverbs 31 woman, she's a worker and a doer. She's a helper and a builder. She's a leader within her community and in her home. See, these men don't even read the Bible. So while they're attacking women who are independent and so-called boss babes, and they calling them hyper masculine and all this and that, there's literally a scripture in the Bible that says that these types of women, they are workers of their homes and of their communities, that they are nurturers and providers. That is the Proverbs 31 woman. And a lot of you men have fumbled these types of women because of your selfish ego and pride. And God can literally put your wife on your path and you'll fumble that. God will literally put the woman that he has for you in front of you, and you'll toss that to the curb to go get with a woman that you know you're not supposed to be with. You guys, I literally had to move. The universe told me I had to get out of the environment, and I had to leave everybody behind. That's scary. And the universe gave me a time frame to be out. I had to go. And I had to literally walk out on faith in the home that I'm in now, which, by the way, there were 19 units being worked on. And when I got here, because I've been talking to the landlord here and everything, right? There allegedly were a lot of availability of the apartment here, right? But when I got here with the movers, this unit that I'm in was the only unit that had been worked on and was ready to be rented. And actually, if you really want to be technical, this unit here that I'm in was one of the units that they did for their models of the property. Like they'll have a model unit um to show you what would come into the apartment. This unit was actually the model unit. What did you say? Out of 19 units, this unit was the only one that was available and ready out of 19 units. And as I was in there taking care of what I had to take care of with rent and everything, the contractors were in front of me. The people that are here to work on the apartments and get them ready to be rented out, they're actually staying here to assist with the renovation. But what is for me is for me, and it's on God's timing, not my timing. So while many of you are, you're just out here, I gotta have a man, I need a man, I just can't go without a man. Look, I would rather lay in my home in peace than to deal with a piece of man who's the wrong type of man. But yeah, the universe literally gave me an ultimatum. It said, what are you going to do? Are you going to choose this path here that includes your job and peace? Or are you going to stay on the path that's going to keep you restricted? I'm not here to preach because I know this is starting to sound like a sermon. It's not. Sabbath was yesterday, not today, and yesterday I did not work. I told the universe that I choose the path that's going to bring me prosperity and peace. But then the universe said, well, if you choose that path, you got to let everybody go that's on the old one. That included my family, my ex, his wife, past people that were never supposed to come with me on this journey that I had to let go. Because, see, I couldn't bring that old energy from the past into the future, not in a new chapter. See, when you close out one chapter, a new chapter is supposed to open, and that chapter is supposed to be clean slate. And a lot of times we want to bring people with us that are not supposed to go with us to the next level. And I had to leave everybody behind. I mean, everybody behind. And I had to really, really make that conscious decision that my peace and what I'm building for me and my children cannot be interfered with. It takes a lot of resilience, a lot of strength, and a lot of patience to get to that point, especially a foundation that I'm trying to build for my children. And some people don't even want you to build that because they don't even want you to make it. They don't want you to be successful. They don't want you to have anything because they don't have anything. They literally want you at the bottom where they're at because they know that they don't have the skills or the confidence to get to where you're going and what you had to put in yourself to get to where you're at. It's a sad reality. But some of y'all need to really, really reevaluate the people that are in your life. And you need to ask yourself, are these people benefiting me in any kind of way? Is this man that I'm laying next to, is he benefiting me in any kind of way? Is he helping me around the house with chores? Is he helping paying the bills here? Is he putting food in the house? How is he taking care of me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially? This is what you need to be looking at, ladies. Because a lot of these men, they don't mean you no good. A lot of your family members and your friends don't mean you no good. These people don't want to see you make it. And sometimes your family members can be your enemy. I had to learn that the hard way. The man you're laying next to, he could be your enemy too. Your children can be your enemy too. because a lot of y'all had children with these karmic men, and now you produce karmic children, and these karmic children hate you and they resent you because of a whole lot with these karmic men. I mean, there are men literally out here destroying relationships with mother and children. I put nothing past these men, ladies. I put nothing past them. I mean, nothing past them, the majority of them. Y'all can't come over here and tell me nothing about these men that I haven't heard or seen before. I have seen enough with these men to know how the majority of them are coming. And normally, when these men are coming, they're not coming the right way. They're coming a very malice, calculated, manipulative type of way. Like right now, I can feel the energy of my ex-husband. It's very, very cold, very, very manipulative. I mean, it's a very cold energy. And I'm being warned that I need to be extra careful when it comes to him, because see, when these men begin to lose control of things, they often want to go to other means of measures to get control of their victims and to do this and do that, and it can get real nasty. And you guys, I am safe. My home is locked. When you literally walk out of my front door, there is a camera right there at my front door. I have a camera in my home that runs 24/7. God forbid anything happens, it's all on camera. It's all on camera. And I have that camera facing my door for legal and safety reasons. Because when you look at my camera and you look straight through it through my phone, you can literally see the door there. I can't have that camera rotate around so that it can show my children as well as my home and back out to the front door. I do have to get other equipment in here, like alarm systems on my windows. I have two windows that I have to get them on. I have checked my windows are locked. Um, my ex-husband does not know where I live for legal and safety reasons. I have instructed my daughter not to disclose that information to him or any of my children for legal and safety reasons. It's just a sad situation. And a lot of these men are feeling the loss of women, and women who are choosing to opt out and this and that. These men are sensing that shift and they're panicking. And not only that, they're wanting to escalate to violence as a way to get control of women again. And this is why you're seeing all of this femicide and marticide and paradicide and anything you can think of side involving men. Even the S word, self-annihilation and so on. I do have legal things in place, and I do have to make legal phone calls in the morning before I go to work, along with some other calls that I have to make to ensure the safety of me and my children. As you guys know, I had to take him to court last year, and there's just a lot of interference with him and my family and conflict that I felt like needed to be resolved within court. But even as I'm speaking right now, that energy is very cold and very it's like he's zoning in and whatnot. It's a very I can't even describe the energy. It's just I'm being warned to be very, very careful, very, very cautious of my surroundings. I've had to turn my tracker off on my cell phone. Um, there is a possibility I'm going to have to change my number. And I hate to do that, but I may have to. Um, there may be a possibility that I have to do a couple of things to ensure that my home is safe. Um, the good thing about where I live, um, they don't put my apartment number on my paperwork, right? When I go to pay my rent, um, they restricted that information, and I may have to let my landlord know that if anyone were to ask about my whereabouts here, that they cannot disclose that information. I do not want anyone to know that I'm here, where I'm at. It's a very serious situation. It's a very sinister thing when you really think about it. What women have to do to protect themselves from men who are controlling and abusive. And this is once again even deeper than just the patriarchal system and entitlement. This is just the nature of most of these men. Yes, I was threatened. Yes, I do have to get in contact with my attorney first thing in the morning. Yes, my ex-husband is aware that there's an attorney involved now. He is aware of the legal consequences of his actions that has led us here. And his self-sabotaging behavior is why we're at this place. And you men don't think about the consequences of your actions. You just continuously keep doing what you're doing, not thinking about the consequences of your actions and where women land when the plane finally lands. You don't get to walk around here and mistreat and abuse and control women and think that you're going to be able to deal with women the way how you have been. It doesn't work like that. These days of you men abusing women and so on ends. Hence the 4B movement, which is a complete opt out of even dealing with you men altogether. It's a complete restriction, and rightfully so. You men don't deserve access to women. I'm sorry. You haven't been treating women well. You've been mistreating and abusing women and so on. You don't get to have a woman. I'm sorry, and I don't feel sorry for you men who are going through this male loneliness epidemic. Yes, I keep my doors locked, my blinds closed. I'm very limited on who I talk to, who I deal with, even here at the property. It's a very cordial hi, how are you doing, speaking, moving on kind of energy with me. I'm very very cautious of my environment, who I'm around, who I see. I've been seeing a couple of the neighbors lurking around. Everybody tends to kind of mind their own business and kind of stay to themselves. From what I can tell, it's a very multicultural environment here, kind of mixed blended. People kind of mind their business here, and I like that. I like when neighbors can mind their business. We can see each other speak, see each other speak. We were here. We know we were here, but we mind our business kind of energy. Um, it's a very kind of key to yourself energy here, and I like that. I like that, I'm not here to be friends with my neighbors. I'm not here to be friends with nobody. I'm here to mind my business and stay in my home, and that's literally what I do. Unless we have to take trash out or check the mail or laundry or pay bills, that's it. And that's how it's going to be. And I've instilled this with my children, that we're not here to make friends with our neighbors. We're here to live, and where we live needs to be all kept from other people interfering, and things like that. So I want you ladies to know that Akina is safe. I am safe. Um, I just don't like the energy of my ex-husband, and where his mindset is at, and men who need to get control, want to get control, they will often go to great measures and lengths to get that control. Um, so I have to make sure that my ducks are in order and that I'm doing what I need to do to protect me and my family, because this is a very serious matter. And people like him, they won't stop until they can get what they want. And these men just think that this is a game that they're playing out here with women. Men, we're not here to play games with you. You're too busy worried about rejection, and we're too busy worried about getting our lives taken. This isn't a competition. This isn't a game. This isn't a sport where you can get out here and play with the lives and hearts of women. You know, you want to play these games, you can play these games with other women and other men who choose to volunteer. As for women like myself, I don't have time for that. There's too much going on out here for women to be playing with you. You know, and I just want you ladies to know that I am safe. I am safe in my home, and there are legal things in place and to ensure the safety of me and my children. Um, I have told my children not to disclose my address to anyone. I don't care who it is. Do not disclose my address. And how do I know I'm so restricted here? Is because I've been having deliveries come here, and even the drivers who have to come out and deliver my groceries, they have a hard time finding where I'm at because this street can run anywhere. And without a landmark, they don't know where to go. And that's another thing the universe has instructed me to do with my children is don't even pinpoint landmarks. No landmarks. No symbol, no nothing. Nothing. No landmark, no symbol, no nothing. Even if it is asked, what's the landmark for the property? Show me a sign. At this particular time, I don't even really want traffic in my home at this time. Um, and that's what I was telling you ladies about meeting these men at your home for the first time. Don't meet these men at your home for the first time. Men who respect women are not going to be meeting women at their homes anyway. Because you know what that leads to, ladies. You invite them into your home, next thing you know, they'll be in your bed. Stop meeting these men online at your home. If you want to meet these men and these men want to meet you, meet in a public place. And I tell all these men that when they approach me, do not ask me about coming to my home because that my home is not for you to be coming into. When you want to cross that threshold to my home, get prepared to pay bills here. Get prepared to pay bills here. I don't allow any man to cross any threshold in my home where me and my children reside and you're not paying bills. Because see, the day you want to enter into my home, man, you're telling me I'm prepared to take on the responsibility of this home here. That's the indication you're giving me when you start asking to come to my home. My home is my sanctuary. It is my safe haven space for me and my children to be safe and to have peace and to be happy. And it is not for you to be entertaining between the sheets in my bed. You want to do that, then you should have a home for us to be able to tussle and toller around in or have a joyride in. Not my home, not my bed. Because I'm very peculiar about the types of men that I bring around my children. And that's really no man at all, period. Ladies, it is just better to be single and at peace in your home, in your bed, than to deal with most of these men who they know are not right in the spirit and in the mind and anywhere else. Um, I keep my blinds closed. I keep my doors locked. I'm in my home where I know where me and my children are at. I keep my door open to my bedroom in case anyone knocks. I have trained my children the access code to get into our home. They know that code. And when that code is not implemented, they will not open that door. I have instructed my children, do not open the door under any circumstances. When I leave here to either go on the property to pay rent or anything, even to collect groceries, I keep it very, very limited with my appearance walking around the property. Very, very limited. Me and my children, we are in our home. Like it's 7:58 p.m. Central Standard Time. My children are in the home. We're locked up in our home. And as long as that camera is facing that door and it is rolling, and I can turn my TV on in my bedroom or my phone and see what my children are doing in the other side of the apartment, I'm safe. And I know that they're safe. And I keep my door open so that I can hear them and see them. I keep my blinds closed. I don't care what's going on the outside of this apartment and outside of my door. It's none of my concern. It's none of my business. Ladies, just be safe out here. And I know that I'm going to be safe. Um, I just know that these men are losing control. And as they're losing control, they are resorting into violence, which I have told you, ladies, they were going to do as women begin to opt out and choose to be single and not get married or have children, that they would start moving to other means of trying to get control back of women. And they're doing that through the voting and through this 19th Amendment they're trying to get repealed and these threats that they keep making. And instead of them being better human beings and going to therapy and doing the work and doing the healing, taking accountability for why we're here, they would rather keep blaming women for why we're here. We're here, men, because you refuse to take accountability and you refuse to be better human beings and evolve to get a woman. We're tired of dealing with the low tier effort and mediocrity that you keep bringing to us. And if you don't want to be better human beings and be better people and treat women better, then you don't get to have access to women. It doesn't work like that. Because what you men have to understand, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off of here. Some of us are preparing ourselves for the long haul here. Me, myself, I've been on this long haul journey, 15 years and counting. I'm prepared to go into the end of time. I have cultivated a life that does not include a man. I have purposely created a kingdom and built a foundation for me and my children without you men. So you telling me that I'm going to die alone with cats and no man is ever going to want me like this and that. Hey, you're not threatening me with a good time. I've been living this life. I've been living this life. I'm willing to stay single and work and be at peace than to deal with one of you who can't benefit me or bring me peace. And if it means I stay single until the end of time, then I guess that's just what it means. So you're not threatening me. It's actually becoming a flex and it's becoming safer for women to just be single. You men either need to evolve and do the work and do what's needed, or you're going to get left behind. And some of us are leaving you behind. Because, like I told the ladies here, if you men haven't evolved and done the work in all this time here, you're never going to do it. You guys have a good evening. Take care. Be safe. I need to check in on my children. My camera is not connecting here, and I know sometimes we have a lag at the apartment here. So I can watch what they're doing through my phone. Ladies, Roku has these smart home cameras. And I actually got this camera when it was on sale. My intentions were to get the alarm systems, like the whole entire system, right? But I would need to get permission from the landlord about installing all of that here. But you can get the doorbell camera. Okay, I can see what they're doing now. It just connected. Yeah, I can see what they're doing. And that camera is literally facing my front door. And anybody who knocks at the door, comes to the window, I can see anybody right at that camera. And this camera rolls all night. We've actually went back and looked at the replays of some of the videos that have been recorded since we've been here. I can make this camera do a whole 360 where it can rotate probably to my kitchen and back on them and at the front door and other things. Um, but I keep that camera definitely facing my front door. And I want it to run all night just like what it's doing. So this is the Roku smart home camera that I have set up in here, and it's a good thing we're in a studio apartment because if I had been in an apartment with multiple layers here, I would have had to get multiple cameras if I had upstairs, downstairs. What it is, they're on one side of the apartment and I'm on the other side. And it can even show right at my room window and AC unit. Um, so I just keep this camera rolling. Just keep it rolling all night, you guys. All night and all day, it's just rolling. Even when we're not in here, it keeps rolling. So I am gonna get the doorbell cam that I am gonna get hooked on the outside of my door. Um, or possibly get one that I can put right in the inside of my window where my AC unit is that can look outside of the window facing my front door if anyone comes and knocks on the front door, right? So I am gonna get that put in here. All of my windows are locked. I've checked all of the windows, so they are locked. I do need to figure out how to open them in case a fire happens. We could be able to escape out of the windows here. There are fire hydrants on each layer of the apartment floor. There's 3 levels here, so there is a fire hydrant on each floor on the outside of the apartments. There are alarm systems in here, even a big fire thing in here. So in case a fire breaks out, that alarm system is going to go off. Even my Roku camera is going to pick up if anything like that happens. Walmart might have a sale still on the Roku camera. I know that I ended up catching it when it was marked down on sale. These things are typically like $40. I ended up getting it for like 29.99. I immediately jumped on it. I got it, and I'm glad that I did. I am going to get my daughter to have this camera rotate all throughout the apartment. It's great. It's great. It's facing the door. I want it to run all over the apartment. You know, I wanted to literally pick up everything. So, anyways, I'm gonna get off of here. You guys eat supper before it gets too late. Get my children ready for bed. Make sure my doors are locked. Everything is shut down in here. Um, they know not to open up the door. So I keep my doors locked and everything. And another thing about where we're at, we use key cards. That's how we access into the apartment. We use key cards. And the only downfall that I hate about this, you guys, in the event that the lights go out, which we thought was going to happen today, sometimes the key cards does not work. But a lot of these places that use these key cards, you can still be able to get in even if the lights are out. So I have multiple key cards for backup options in case, I lose one or um this or that. I have a backup key card. So we are safe, you guys. Everything's good. Um, you guys have a good night, and yeah, I just wanted to just jump on here to just share this live with you guys. I'm sorry about the technical delays, and believe it or not, well, I charged up one of my work phone back up. The other phone went dead, so that's my cue to just power everything off, let everything charge up here. Um, I'm gonna try to get back on here and go live again before the week is out. Um, so you guys definitely have a good night. Be safe. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next one.